Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another cast breakdown. And today we have a big one. It is Lonesome Zeke, and the cast he becomes the winningest blue tick of all time. This is down in Quapaw, Oklahoma. Good cast of guys here. Mike Hensley judging. We've got Greg Maynard, Mark Gilmore, and Dual Murphy. So no slouch of a cast. As you can see, we've got Zeke getting over here and getting unloaded. He's a good looking dog. He bit me one time, or tried to bite me one time, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, we'll get right into it. We will do the cash breakdown here. I'll give my opinion and what everybody's thinking, doing, all that stuff. But yeah, let's get started. Dogs get cut, and we'll go from there.
Everybody ready?
Yep.
Cut them.
Molly strike.
Molly for 100 in a minute.
That big ball mouth dog you hear there is Zeke. Molly getting awful quiet.
That's to be right here. Greg.
Molly.
Now, it is hard to tell on camera, but Molly did move quite a bit from where he struck her and where she started barking again. But that is such a judge's discretion. Billy Bell cop duel for that down at the Mark Hall you guys seen, and I'm pretty lenient on it. I'll let a dog get struck under the minute and babble around a little bit, as long as they bark through the minute and they're reasonably close. I wouldn't have minus this dog either, but a lot of judges would have minus Molly right here, but not Hensley, not me, not a few others, but it's 50-50 call there.
Strike five.
75.
Crash struck.
50 minutes up.
I only heard crash. Clyde may open once in there too, but if you can get him in there, get him in there. Kudos to Mark. And on a side note, it is a lot easier to hear this on a playback with this mic than it is actually out there in the woods.
Up there on top.
To me if you want to. I know I am, Greg. That's who the camera's been on the whole time. Fire tree.
It's 140.
You got me over here right handed.
Zeke's up. For 25 to 1.
Okay, so right here we have Clyde treed right in front of us. He's got 225 pending. Zeke has just been struck, and he is actually right-handed and behind the cast over there, kind of all by himself at the time.
really shot now. I don't know if he's gonna shoot or what. Maybe he's gonna shot. Third tree's dead. Right there. One right here. Let's go.
All right. I don't know what happened there. Clyde, he treed Clyde. I didn't hear much out of him. You can't hear much out of him on this video either. But you could hear him bark just on occasion. Hensley could, and they're not that far away. Little spoiler. We get a little farther in there, and Maynard trees. I believe he comes in for a quarter. Let's listen right here.
That's fine.
Yeah. Which one is you? He's on past Molly or with Molly. I don't know.
You can hear both Clyde and Molly now. Molly's been treated well. Now also, we get down here and Crash's treat. So we've got 3 dogs treat in. We've still got Zeke over here, kind of behind the cast and right-handed. And let's see how this plays out. Both of them at the same tree. You hear Crash after them dogs got handled. He's in there about 100 yards past these dogs. He has been treated in. All right. Zeke has been treated for 125. Now, if I'm Zach, I'm not doing that. Man, these dogs crashing Molly and Clyde. He can get struck good too. The Zeke is a middle of the road strike dog at best. Um, he can get struck early on occasion, but I would not have opened this strike back up because you got 2 dogs split right here. You got Molly and Clyde on one tree. You got Crash on another. I'm scoring this tree of Molly and Crashes, and then I'm letting them walk their minute. I'm letting them recut, and then I'm treeing. Um, that's just me. Everybody does it different. Zach may have been thinking something different here too. Maybe he just wants to get at his dog, get it scored, give it a chance, more time, whatever. But I'm not opening that strike back up, especially with Crash so close. Now it would be different if Crash was treed in a half mile away, 3/4 of a mile away, because then you don't want to give Molly and Clyde that time to get turned loose and make an extra tree before I can get to Zeke. You know, you don't want to give them time that you wouldn't have normally. So if you want to leash lock them to keep them on the leash to keep them from scoring another coon before you can get to yours, then yeah, that makes sense. But Crash is real close right here. Zeke's not very far away. I'd let him turn these 2 loose, go score Crash, go score Zeke, and just take a chance that they don't get treed again before I can cut loose or whatever. And that way, you know that strike is not going to open back up, and you guys are just playing a coon for coon game after that. So that's what I would have done. Probably okay either way, but
You lost the quarter, man. He was straight for a quarter.
Maynard did get in for a quarter.
Everybody, start shining.
There he is, Mike. Right here.
And the cameraman finds him. There he is, right out in the middle of the open. Plus him up. That puts Clyde at 225 plus, Molly at 125 plus. Plus them up, they are on a leash. We go to Crash. I'll take the suspense out of this. Crash is circle. Crash is on a den tree. And like I said, we're all leash locked. Let's go see what old Blue's got. Oof, why is that so bright?
Circle it, Hensley. Circle.
Yep, Hensley just circled it.
Yeah.
All right, we will head just 400 or 500 yards across this pasture to Blue.
Right here. Right.
Little
I got him, Zach. I got him. Quit squalling. He's gonna come out. Right here, Mike.
all right, you see it right there. Cameraman finds another one. I'm 2 for 2. So plus Zeke. That puts Zeke at 150.
You gotta
And
get underneath the.
we will cut loose again with the strike open. Good looking dog. All right, here we go. Second drop.
Molly struck. 100 within the minute.
Molly struck under the minute again.
75 within the minute.
Clyde for 75. I'm going to back that up a little bit.
Struck. 100. Molly struck. 100 within the minute. Strike Clyde. 75 within the minute.
I did hear Clyde, that one bark right there. I think I messed up the score because Clyde was struck for 75 out of the truck too, so he was at 200. So Clyde's at right now.
Minute's up. Zeke struck. Molly. Zeke for 50.
So Zeke does get in for 50 there. Molly is safe. Clyde is safe.
Crash struck. That's for quarter.
That's pretty much it for a while. Dogs trail around, trail around, trail around.
Use that weight a little bit.
We tighten up a little.
Pine tree. 100 in the corner. Molly tree. Molly 75.
All right, Clyde, Molly, they're both in. Back up a little bit here.
Look at that.
Let's get to this tree. All right, Clyde and Molly are handled here. As we were walking into Clyde and Molly, duel gets treed. He trees Crash. What I thought was reasonably close. And as a matter of fact, see if I can get back to it. But anyway, we got all four dogs treed again. That's basically what happened. So we're at Clyde and Molly's tree. Zeke gets treed in behind us. Crash gets treed in front of us. Zeke does get treed first, but since all dogs are leash locked, we decide to score out of order. So we shine this tree. It's a big den. We go to duel. See if we can get to his tree real quick.
No.
Crash did a really good job right here.
Right there.
No, I got him. I do.
See that coon right there. So plus Clyde, that puts him, or plus Crash, that puts him at 150. And then we go to Zeke. And what do you know? Where's he? There he is. Oop. Right there. Now, we are an hour and 10 minutes into this cast because we've done quite a bit of walking. We've walked long ways to Crash. You can see what happened to my boots here in a little bit. These dogs are leash locked again. And they are cut. So here's what we got. We've got Zeke. Let's see, he was 150 plus out of the truck. 175. He did get struck for 50 on a second coon. He's treed two coons. Crash is sitting at 200. So he puts Zeke at 325, Crash at 200, or Clyde at 200, Crash at 150, and Molly at 125. And the other dogs all have circle points except for Zeke. Zeke's made two trees, two coons. He's probably only went 400 yards between trees, I'm guessing, at this point. And so he's been leash locked both times. Everybody's been leash locked both times. Everybody's got to make two trees and recut again. But Zeke, the only dog tree took in so far. Now watch this. The creek was plenty deep. Plenty deep.
Zeke first, then it was Clyde, Molly, and then Crash, what I heard.
All right. What you did miss is Zeke actually got struck for 100 right here, and actually sits down in trees for a little bit. Um, if he has that one for 225, good grief, it's a ball, it's a wrap. And this dog's treed probably a minute and a half. I think Hensley even puts the stationary on him. But no word from Zach. Zach does not tree. He knows there's something off about this. He sounded good to me. So credit to Zach for not treeing this dog. But he's in for 100. Molly's in for 75. Clyde 50 and Crash 25. Again here off the recut.
Did you get water, John?
Little water. I'll hide it.
And see at this point, Crash or Zeke has just quit, rolled out. Good job, Zach, not treeing that dog.
It's working. Throw.
So the next dog that gets treed is Crash. And he is forever away. Miles upon miles away. And we walk and we walk and we walk and we walk and we walk. And we get to Crash. And nothing. I can't remember whether Hensley circled it or minused it. Crash is pretty much out of it at this point. We walk off this tree. Crash is done. And Greg is done too. Molly's out of pocket. He doesn't have time to get another one treed and recutter. So it's basically now a two-dog race. Zeke, 325 plus. Clyde, he's got 200 plus. He's toting 50 strike. So he trees a coon, Zeke doesn't. He could win. There's only about 10 minutes left to go in this cast right now.
Right there. I got you. Okay.
Does this tree time start now or when?
Right now.
Clyde, we'll go ahead and just rewind this real quick. But he trees Clyde while Hensley's coming off this tree.
Got that dog.
You can hear Clyde. Clyde's the chop mouth dog, just boop, boop, boop. There's another cast in there with us too. That other dog you hear trailing is not in the cast.
Right there. I got you. Okay.
Does this tree time start now or when?
Right now.
So Clyde is treed in for the win. I believe there's not much time left. So let's figure this out.
No. No. Wait. As long as everybody's good. You good, Mark?
Yeah, I'm right here, yeah. Can we go to my dog then?
Yeah.
No. Watch out, Greg. You're good with me quick, bro.
You good? You see him put and do, aren't you?
Yeah. What's Mark got?
He has 200. Just 75 here.
Now we have a little snafu. Touch of a problem here. Zach says he can hear Blue right through there. Now, I had the mic. I turned the mic off to check the battery, and I did not turn it back off. This happens twice in the rest of this hunt, and two really key spots. But right now, Zach's, you got me through there, you got me through there. And Gilmore can't hear the dog. I can't hear the dog either. Zach can hear it, Eddie can hear it, and we'll see. Hensley can hear it. Trying to get to the next place I have sound. See, right now we're having a pretty good discussion. Hensley has taken this tree call, says he can hear Zeke. We walk down the hill to the bottom of the hill, not much, maybe 75 yards. And Gilmore never has heard the dog, not once. And Gilmore says he can't hear it. Hensley stops, runs a two. He can't hear it now either. Probably a minute gone in the two, and Hensley says he can hear him. And he breaks the two. Now, Gilmore never heard the dog.
Walk in.
He did.
I'll get the mic working here in a second.
He did. Okay. Oh.
You can see Gilmore's reaction. he's he's like, man, there ain't no way you can hear that dog. But Hensley could hear him. Eddie could hear him. Zach could hear him. I think Duel said he heard him too. Duel's out of it, so. But there's no doubt Zeke's treed. We've walked away from that dog so far that he's been treed a long time. But Zach, he don't need to tree unless somebody else does. Now if Gilmore trees, he's got to. So he's got to find a way. Whether he could hear the dog or not, I don't know. He's going to go to his grave not saying whether he did or didn't, or if he didn't, and he may have. Guys can hear their own dogs a lot farther than someone who hasn't hunted with them a lot, and that is a thing. It is a thing. And Hensley, he's got no reason to lie about it. He probably heard the dog or heard a dog that sounded something like that dog that direction, and Zeke gets treed in. So Zeke gets treed in. If he has a coon, we're at his tree now. If he has a coon, he can't be beat. If Gilmore has a coon, it doesn't matter uh, as long as Zeke has one. Zeke has a minus tree. Gilmore has a circle. Gilmore is your winner. Anything but a circle. Any. If he gets circled and Gilmore has a coon, Gilmore's still your winner. So the only thing that he can sew it up with is a coon. If Gilmore has one. And so me and Zach, and Eddie, we go to Zeke's tree. They walk me straight into him. He's treed. I had to walk 3 or 4 minutes before I could hear the dog. 5 minutes maybe. But dog was treed. Go in there and get him tied up. And now we got to wait on Hensley and Mark. And what happens is they get to Mark. He's got a den tree. As long as Zeke has a circle, he's good. And what Zeke had was a coon. So Zeke did have a coon. He is your winner. It all worked out. Wouldn't have mattered either way. Uh, and so, yeah, it's always good to see the right dog win. Zeke looked fantastic. Treat 3 coons. And we're going to hear Zach's reaction to when uh, Mark withdraws. Because pretty much what happened is Mark withdrew. And this tree doesn't need scored. So we can ease on back to the truck.
All right. Lonesome Zeke. Me and Zach walk in here. We get Zeke handled. We're going to wait on Hensley to get here. And we get the call that Mark Gilmore concedes. And Zeke is your winner. Zach, how you feeling?
I'm pretty happy right now, Josh. I really don't know exactly what to say right now.
Old dog done good. Treat 3 coons. He's got one in this one. We shined it after Mark called. But Eddie went back to get the trucks. He was a nervous wreck. What do you think Eddie's feeling right now? Well, he don't know yet.
He don't know yet, and I don't know if his head's going to be able to fit in the state of Oklahoma now.
I'll tell you what, you guys got to find dog, possibly, the biggest money winning blue tick of all time in PKC, surpassing Big Country, depending on how the late round or the split or whatever goes. But a split will do it.
Split will do it, yep.
First or second will do it if you hunt late. But I have a feeling ain't nobody going to want a piece of old blue late. What do you think?
I hope not. I'd like to take that split and go celebrate.
Congratulations, Zach.
Thank you, Josh.
Good
I
job.
appreciate it.
Zach and Zeke, possibly the all-time money winners. We're going to find out.
And they are. Not only did Zeke look fantastic that night, this was on Thursday night, trees 3 coons. stays in pocket all night long. He was probably only 300 or 400 yards between all of his coons, all three of them. Stayed treat all night. We're running around walking to other dogs, doing all that stuff, done exactly what he needed to do. And yeah, he gets in the next night too, wins another 11,000. So he passes Big Country, who everybody knows is one of my favorite dogs, and gets a big lead on him on the second place dog the next night with another 11,000. So he went down there with a $10,000 entry fee. They really took a chance, took a gamble on that dog, and they bring home over $22,000. So $12,000 on a weekend's pretty good profit for anybody. I don't care what you say. And congratulations to Eddie and Zeke. Now here's the problem. This is a clip I'm going to screenshot and save because what we did here, and I've messed up the mic again. I forgot to turn it back on after we left. And Eddie pulls up in the truck to give us a ride. And Jenna's following him in my truck. And I whispered to Zach, I said, hey, tell Eddie that coon jumped out. And Mark had a coon. And that's what he did. And you could see Eddie's reaction. And credit to Zach. Zach keeps this going a long time. Oh, goodness gracious. Right here is where I whisper that to him right before we come across. And there's no sound. My gosh, I wish there was sound. This is one of the greatest moments I've ever captured. And I blew it as a cameraman. Oh my gosh, I blew it. Like, you can see here Zach telling Eddie it jumped. Oh, it's, Zach tells him the truth, and Eddie goes from the depths of despair to pure joy and happiness. Oh, yes. Congratulations. That is cool. I don't care what anybody says. Eddie's a good guy. He's got a very good dog. Him and Zach have made a heck of a team together with Zeke. And man, it was cool. It was cool to be there. It was cool to get it on film. I wish I wouldn't have screwed this last part up, but you can imagine the reactions that these guys had, becoming the all-time money winning blue tech. And these aren't millionaires doing this that are risking a $10,000 entry on a dog. This is Eddie's dog. He's got Zach behind the wheel. Eddie handles him a good portion of the time too. And I was there when that dog made platinum champion. I judged him the last two rounds of that hunt. He done the same thing he did tonight. He treed three coons when nobody else could. Um, yeah, very special animal. I've been getting a lot of what's he out of, what's he out of, what's he out of. You know what? Walker guys have made a living breeding the dogs that just win. We don't care what they're out of a lot of times. I know there's some guys that puts a lot of good hard work into pedigrees and do all this stuff, but I don't know if they plan on breeding Zeke a lot. But Big Country and Zeke are the only two dogs I've ever seen that were blue that I would breed to. These are it. So you blue tick guys, don't hone up on that pedigree. I know he's out of Stieber stuff, but don't get hung up on that pedigree. If you guys get hung up on the dogs instead of the pedigree, you'll have better dogs. He's a good one. So yeah, congratulations to those guys. That is our cash breakdown. We thank you guys for watching. The members, of course, they get to see this early. It was a very cool moment. And what we will do whenever we put this out is I will go through all the cast footage again, do the scoreboard, do all that stuff too. And we'll put it out there for everybody to see. So yeah, thanks for watching. This is Josh Michaelis. This is the cash breakdown. And we'll see you guys at the next one.